But first, hundreds of millions of dollars coming to Northeast Ohio to treat people and fix problems caused by the massive opioid crisis.
This week, landmark settlements were reached between 4 drug companies and Cuyahoga and Summit counties.
We want people who have read the data, who have been intentional at looking at the research, and who understand what Summit County offers and how to best use these dollars to leverage success into the future, because it's one-time money.
Now there is urgency to figure out how all of that money will be used and who's watching the spending.
Yeah, Bob Jones live in Akron tonight. And Bob, forming a task force, that is top priority.
Well, Frank, Summit County officials are working on that right now. There have been 8 settlements with drug companies related to the opioid crisis. So far, Summit County has received $10 million and tens of millions of additional dollars still on the way. A task force to oversee it all on the fast track.
We want to be thoughtful about this and intentional about this because these are now public dollars, and we want to make sure that we're good stewards of those.
Assistant Summit County Chief of Staff Greta Johnson says tens of millions of dollars from 4 drug companies that settled on Monday will come in payments to Summit County, some of it this year, the rest in 2020 and 2021.
We have an entire population who is living with addiction now. I think people need to understand that the crisis is ongoing. This is not something that's over now that we have this settlement.
County Executive Eileen Shapiro, Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan, and Summit Health Commissioner Donna Skota will help appoint members to a task force known as the Opioid Abatement Advisory Council, making sure money is going towards things like treatment, education, and helping first responders.
We're assembling this group as soon as we can.
Bernie Rochford is the Executive Vice President of Oriana House, an addiction and recovery treatment center. He says the settlements are significant, but
I don't know that it makes us whole by any stretch, and that's not even talking about the devastation to the families and what they've gone through.
Rochford isn't sure if Oriana House will receive any of the money, but if it does, he says funding could be used to pay for more naloxone, the overdose reversing drug, as well as additional medication-assisted treatment to treat those with opiate use disorder.
Funding is helpful for that, especially those that aren't on Medicaid or private insurance.
We also got insight from David Monter.
I'm a person in long-term recovery. I got into recovery about 10 years ago.
He now helps others as a recovery coach for a Catholic Charities treatment program and believes expanding recovery and closing gaps in stabilized housing are priorities.
Housing is a huge need, so people might have to wait a couple of days to get into a treatment program because there aren't any beds available. Where do they go? If they're living in a volatile environment, where are they going to go to?
And Summit County officials don't expect to disperse any of the settlement money until next year. Also today, County Executive Eileen Shapiro met with Governor Mike DeWine in Columbus to discuss the settlements reached so far and possible future settlements. Live in Akron, Bob Jones, News 5.